Okay, so now it's 3:01, so we'll just get started. I see we have like around 70 participants for now, but we do have 200 registration, so hopefully the rest of people can join us. But in any case, this webinar will be recorded, and the recording link will be shared afterwards. Okay. So hello everyone. I'm Qing Yang. I'm an associate research professor at Duke School of Nursing. And I'm also the co-chair for the ICSA Outreach and Engagement Committee. So I want to thank you all for joining us today for this webinar. Since this is the very first webinar the ICSA is hosting, before we dive in, I'd like to provide a brief introduction to ICSA. ICSA is a nonprofit organization, and two of its key objectives I'd like to highlight here are broaden the applications of statistical techniques in all areas of society, including the industry and the government, and foster the cooperative efforts among educational, research, industrial, and governmental personnel in statistical activities. So in the light of these objectives, our Outreach and Engagement Committee established a dedicated webinar subcommittee. And by leveraging the talents within our community, we are launching a series of webinars. So the first webinar series focused on the career development in pharmaceutical industry. And there are actually two themes for this webinar series. One is soft skill and leadership development. And the other one is knowledge-based trainings. And as you can see that these topics listed here are not usually taught in school, but they are very crucial in our career development. So the primary aim for us is to really address the gap in learnings. And we also like to use this as an opportunity to facilitate the connection between the enthusiastic learners, like all the audience here today, and our experienced statisticians and experts, like our panelists today. And we like to ultimately foster a community that is committed to the pursuit of the knowledge and also personal development. And before I start, I'd like to extend my gratitude to the ICSA Executive Committee for their unwavering support for this endeavor. And I also want to express my deepest gratitude appreciation to the dedicated members of our webinar subcommittee. These are the people who really made this event possible. And specifically, Dr. Jun Zhao, the executive director of the ICSA, who is the one really pull everything together, everyone together. And there are also several members on our subcommittees who are going to be the speakers for our future webinars. And so I also like to invite you to check out our website, the ICSA website. And there are many committees within our organizations. And if you can find anything that you are passionate about and would like to contribute, so please consider reach out and join us. Okay, so without further ado, I would like to introduce the organizer and the facilitator for this, our first webinar, Helena Fan. So Helena Fan is a co-founder of the Loctus Group, the leading recruitment firm for biometric professionals in the life science industry. She has an MBA from the University of Southern California and a master in the public health from West China University of Medical Science. Helena has a wealth of knowledge and expertise accumulated over her 20-year career in staffing industry. Throughout her journey, she has assisted countless individuals in realizing their career aspirations and securing their dream opportunities. So without further ado, I would like to turn this over to Helena. Welcome.
Thank you, Qing. Thank you so much for your very kind introduction and the efforts to make this event happen. And I also want to thank you all for your participation. And our two panelists today are Yongming Chu. He is Vice President for the Department of Statistics and Advanced Analytics at Eli Lilly. And the other one is Xiyuan Gao. She joined AbbVie as a senior research statistician last year. It was a pretty rough, tough year for fresh new PhD. You probably already read their very impressive profile. If you haven't, I strongly recommend you to read their profile after the meeting. They are the very reason why we're today, so we can learn together from both hiring managers' point of view and the perspective from candidates on how to launch a successful career in the pharmaceutical industry. So the format of today's webinar is we will have about 40 to 45 minutes of discussion and followed by 15 minutes of Q&A. You can type your questions during the discussion, and at the end, we will answer the question. So I hope you all enjoy this meeting and have something to take away at the end. Let's start with Yongming. So can you tell us why pharmaceutical industry is a good choice for a fresh graduate or fresh PhD? And also briefly introduce the career choices and the career paths for a statistician in the pharmaceutical company.
Sorry, I'm on mute. So now it's good, right?
Now it's good.
Yeah. Helena and Qing, thank you for both to put together this session. I'm very honored to get connected again with ICSA because I haven't been involved in ICSA since in the beginning of my career. So Helena, for your question, I would say pharmaceutical is a very attractive opportunity for any statistician, not just a new statistician. Yeah, so a few reasons, first one reason actually, after I graduation, I joined Lilly because I thought, there was so much data, right, in pharmaceutical companies. At that time, we didn't have the AR machine learning, remember 20 years ago, but I felt the pharmaceutical companies, they generate a lot of data from discovery to clinical trials. As a statistician, right, I think our training is to deal with data. So I felt even before I joined Lilly, I didn't know much about industry. I felt so excited, to join Lilly because I know there are a lot of data. There must have, tremendous opportunities there. In terms of the opportunity now, I have been working with Lilly for 20 years. I think we need a statistician for all areas, include the clinical development from early phase 1, phase 2, and to late phase 3, phase 4, and also post marketing. We continue to provide information, to the clinicians and the patients. And we also have some post-launching, the real-world evidence research. That's actually a key piece of the statistics in Lilly. And also, we also have scientific support discovery. Drug discovery include some of the genomics, or some preclinical research, include animal studies. We also have someone to try to optimize the molecule, right? So the chemical structure, that's also important. We also have scientific support manufacturing. Because the recent, I just the last few days I worked with a statistician from manufacturer because, I try to understand where the variability came from, so I think we do have statisticians there. We also have statisticians support even business marketing because if we have a commercial, like for example, Super Bowl commercial, and then we need to understand the impact of the commercial, right? So how is it useful or not useful? it's because it's very expensive. If we don't have measure the effect, we don't have good understanding effect, we could not optimize the use of our resource. Recently also, data science, machine learning, AR, machine learning also, it's pretty popular almost in every company. And Lily, our AR machine learning leader, actually hot after you probably many of you know, he was a statistician by training, and he was in the statistics group for a long time, right? So he actually now leading our AR machine learning group. And so I think we have plenty of opportunities, and we generally, I still think we keep recruiting. And at least in the last few weeks, I have interviewed a few candidates and Lily.
That sounds there are lots of opportunities for statisticians in different areas in the pharmaceutical company. Xiyuan, I'm just wondering, what is your motivation? What is your motivation to join the pharmaceutical company? And what is your career choice among all the opportunities? Are you a clinical trial statistician? Can you share that? Yeah, share with us your experience.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. So firstly, thank you, Kalina, Qing, and ICSA for organizing this webinar and offer this opportunity to share my experience. Yeah, it's my great honor to be here today. And yeah, thanks for the question. Before I begin, yeah, I would like to clarify that everything I share today, it's based on my personal experience and my personal thoughts. So they don't reflect or represent any views or policies of my employer in any aspect. And go back to the question. So what motivates me to join the pharmaceutical industry after studying statistics for many years? Yeah, we know as statistics students, we have lots of options after graduation, like go to academia, we can get some job in government, or go to industry in either in the tech company or some financial or insurance company, and etc. Yeah, for me, I do kind of get confused for a while. But regarding my final decision on the pharma is mainly driven by probably two factors. Yeah, firstly, my internships made me realize that the practical or the real world problem attract me more than engaging in theoretical work. Yeah, I feel like they are interesting. I would like to spend my time on those in solving those problems. Yeah, so this experience steered me towards the industry instead of rather than staying in academia. And I think for farmer, the second reason is due to my personal flavor. Yeah, compared to the stocks or insurance, yeah, I have more curiosity in healthcare and drug development. Just like in my free time, when I do prefer reading books or watch documentations talking about our health and our body. So I really want to know how drugs are developed. And after years of learning statistics, I want to know what kind. So I learned that then I want to say how statistics could be applied to this process. Yeah, so this is really due to my personal flavor. And currently my role, yeah, I'm working as a clinical statistician, and my role primarily involves like following several clinical trials, and a typical day includes meet with the whole team and track the trial progress and maybe discuss some potential data issues. So the reason why I choose to be the clinical statistician, well, firstly, it's a combination of timing and opportunity. Well, yeah, this position was open when I was job hunting. And maybe another deeper reason is, yeah, I'm still curious about clinical trials and clinical statisticians. During my internship, actually, I did internship as non-clinical statistician before, and also as a data scientist before. Yeah, so I get some insights based on those roles. But actually, the clinical statistician is still a big part in the pharma company. So, but I heard a lot about it, but never experienced it. Yeah, so when I thought maybe this position was a perfect opportunity for me to get a deeper understanding of clinical trial. Yeah, this is my personal experience. Thank you.
Thank you, Xiyuan. I think there are lots of, as Yongmin mentioned, there are lots of opportunities. At the same time, I think the choice maybe depends on, right, like Xiyuan, based on your personal interest, based on what is available on the market and your background. I think it also is good to keep in mind the demand from a recruiter's point of view. So far, I think the demand for clinical statisticians is still the highest. So that could be easier if you want to switch to a different company in the future. But at the same time, I do see a lot of people, they do what they like what they're doing and stayed in different areas. For example, non-clinical or statistical method research. It really depends. And also there are growing areas, right? Like real world evidence and data science. So that's there are lots of options again for the new graduate or statisticians to consider. Because of the market, you know, the positions from pharmaceutical companies are limited. So there's another alternative to help people get into the pharmaceutical industry, like CROs. A CRO, the full name of CRO is the Clinical Research Organization. They take outsourced projects from pharmaceutical companies. There's still a very good way to get into this industry. So Yongmin, can you share with us your knowledge on what's the difference of working as a statistician in the pharmaceutical company and in the CRO?
Yes. So unfortunately, because my first job in the US is in analytics, so I have been leading for my whole time in the last 10 years. Yeah, so it's difficult for me to contrast between the pharmaceutical company and the CRO companies. But I do have some friends working in the CRO companies. They are continuously in the CRO companies. I think the work nature is a difference, right? In the drug companies, in the pharmaceutical companies, we actually not only to support the clinical trial, make sure the clinical trial is successful, but we also think about a big picture, right? So what the impact of this trial, the next trial was? What the data from previous trial can help me design this trial? And for CRO, I think they basically are more individual task focused, right? For example, you have one study, you just want to make sure that this study designed well, and this study can be implemented well. And also, when at the end of the study, make sure we have a robust report. So I think they have a different nature. I think I have some friends in CRO. I believe they also have attraction in the CRO, but I'm not able to talk more about the CRO.
Okay. I can make a little bit more comments based on my recruiting experience, add to what Yongmin just said. I think the CRO, because they take projects from pharmaceutical companies, so the statistician usually in general do what the clients, the sponsors ask them to do. So they may not have that in-depth knowledge or experience for the drug development, and they may not take initiative for study design. They are more on the operation, right, implementation, right, the side of the clinical trial. Because of that difference, sometimes we do recommend our candidates, CRO statistician, if it's possible, to switch from a CRO to pharmaceutical companies after work in a CRO for 2-3 years. It's just to have I think it's have a better career development for a statistician. But CRO is really a very good starting point, and some people may like the CRO, stay there for longer. I just talk from the career development point of view. And so Yongmin, I know you interviewed many candidates, fresh PhDs or new graduates. Most of them don't have industry don't have industry experience. So as a hiring manager, what are you looking for? What are you looking for on the resume, and what do you really want to know about these candidates during the interview? And how do you evaluate if a candidate has a quality you or your team want?
Yeah, this is Helena. This is a very good question. You typically here are the few things I generally look. One is to see the statistical training. If the students have good training. For this, I generally look at what the school the students are from, what's their research area, and their GPA, and what their advisors. So these are all not. I don't think one individual factor can tell the strength of the students, but those are the areas I try to look to understand the how solid the statistical training for the candidates are. I also look at the extracurricular activities. I found that sometimes many candidates, they kind of ignore this. They don't put enough in their resume, or they don't talk about those during the interview because they probably think about that's nothing related to statistics. But I value that a lot, because if you have a lot of extracurricular activities such as volunteer activity or leadership, like in ICSA or other non-profit organization, that all show you actually have interest, you are willing to be connected, and that also helps you build your leadership and communication skills. So those activities are also important. And also I want to understand the motivation. If this candidate is only want a job, or they truly love, or they want the job because they think they have the passion. Because I found someone just said, okay, because I need a job, right? So I just come here to interview. So that's generally done not pretty well. But some other people, they say, okay, they have a rationale why they want to study statistics, why they want to research in the pharmaceutical industries, and they also have some indicator, right? Why they're interested. For example, they have done some intern in the pharmaceutical industry. They had a collaboration with a pharmaceutical statistician on some research. All those actually help me to convince me, right? This candidate is really motivated to work in the pharmaceutical industry. Finally, very important is the interpersonal communication skills, because in the pharmaceutical industry, statistician is and one of the team members work in a very large team. Internal communication is very, very important. It's not about it's a multi-dimensional in the communication, right? For example, how you communicate, when to communicate, what to communicate. Those are important. So that generally the communication skills is assessed through interview and the presentation the candidate give and time of interview.
Thank you, Yumi. That's very insightful. I'm learning too. It's very interesting that you're looking at extracurriculum activity as well when looking at the resume. That's something I did not know in the past. So Xiyuan, so last year the job market for the fresh PhD is very tough based on my knowledge. Yet you got into AbbVie. So can I ask you how many offers you actually got from the pharmaceutical companies last year?
Yeah. I also feel like I'm so lucky last year. I really appreciate all interview opportunities. Yeah, so I remembered I received 5 interview opportunities, and I completed 3 of them and received 2 offers.
That's very impressive. I think so. What made you stand out among all your competitors? Anything special of your interview or resumes, or what else? What do you think? What make you successful to get this job?
Yeah. So thanks. Yeah. So actually not that successful. I mean, even though it was a little tough last year, despite the challenges in the job market, I feel like most of my peers I knew eventually found the positions. So in my case, I might think that the reason I'm a little bit luckier, perhaps because I started the job hunt pretty early. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I started the job in September in 2022. Yeah, and then yeah, started pretty early. And also for the resume, yeah, I just keep it simple and pretty clear. Yeah, simple and clear, just in one page. Yeah, also, I think thanks Yuming for sharing his insights. I also didn't include any extracurricular activities in my resume, but good to know that. And for the resume, I think one thing, my thing I might be different from others. Yeah, just might be different. Is I customize my resume based on each position. Yeah, even though the company may open 2 positions, but I still like customize my resume based on a different job description. Yeah, and also for the cover letter. Yeah, yeah, just modify I have a basic resume, but after reading the job description, I might modify my the project description a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, for non-clinical and clinical, it might have different focus on different phrases. Yeah, and then for the interview, I think, yeah, I guess usually interview contains 2 parts, the one-on-one meetings with different people, and then maybe 1 hour presentation. Yeah, I feel like the key here is keep the conversation or either presentation engaging and interesting. Yeah, and to achieve this, I always consider who is my audience. Yeah, I feel like, yeah, this is pretty different from discussions with our advisors or present the paper in the paper reading groups. Yeah, in the interview, maybe it's very likely that our audience may not be deeply familiar with our research area. So, and they have maybe higher level or different viewpoints or knowledge base. Yeah, so to prepare for this, I practiced discussing with students who are still in statistics, but have different research focus. Yeah, just to see what kind of question they may have for my research, and maybe also get some insights like how to discuss my question, how to show my research to other people, how to explain it maybe in a simple but also clear way. Yeah, and also for the presentation, yeah, I feel like maybe, yeah, this is also one tip I heard from other people. Yeah, from other people, just make the presentation to be a story, maybe starting from a real world problem. Yeah, I do spend some time trying to connect my research topic to clinical trials. Yeah, because at that time I was applying for the clinical statistician. Yeah, so I'm trying to say, can I whether there are some potential applications? If there are, what could be the potential issues in application? Yeah, because I don't, the research is not perfect. There could definitely be some improvement. Yeah, so I put my thoughts of this question during my presentation. Yeah, yeah, I feel like this really helps with maybe the smoother conversation or smoother discussion. Yeah, during my presentation or the discussion, I received lots of insights. They have some discussions with me. Yeah, and also for those discussions, really helped me prepare, to think more about my research and also prepare for my defense. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. I think it's very, very helpful, Xiyuan. I think thank you for especially sharing the tips and the preparation for presentation during the interview. I think I really like the points you made and make it relevant and thinking about audience, which is great. I think as a statistician, the pharmaceutical industry, they will do lots of presentation in your work as well, right? So that's a very good skill to have. And for Yuming, you mentioned that you're looking at people's internship, right? So is that a requirement for people who wants to join pharmaceutical industry? Have you ever hired anyone without internship experience? And what make those candidates successful for their interview or to get a job?
Yeah, Helena, I believe now the internship almost the kind of standard for the industry is to look for candidates, right? I don't remember a single one candidate I interviewed without an internship, so so I cannot comment on others without internship. So my only comment is, yeah, try to find optimal internship with no internship, and at least you can have some collaboration, with some industry, or even at the school you find some research opportunities, right? For example, you can do consulting for some PhD students in another department to help their analyze data or design their trials or their experiments. So I guess I think my point is internship, you don't have to be in pharmaceutical. You can do internship in another industry, but look for a job in pharmaceutical. That's perfectly fine. But I have not seen anyone I have interviewed in the last 5 years without an internship.
Okay. You mean even the internship is not in the pharmaceutical company, it's helpful, but better in the pharmaceutical industry, right?
No, I don't think we look for the internship only for pharmaceutical industry. Because you just stay for like 12 weeks general internship, you really cannot learn much, right? From pharmaceutical industry. I think the internship is an indicator, about your ability to find another opportunity, and you have opportunity to work in the real industry, not just as a student in school. Right?
Okay, that's very good to know. Thank you for that insight. And for Xiyuan, I realized you had 3 internships during the PhD program, right? And with 2 in the pharmaceutical industry companies. Did you plan carefully of your career during your PhD program? And how did you find these internship opportunities? And how did you build your connection in the pharmaceutical industry, even during your PhD?
Yeah, thanks, Kalina, for this question. And yeah, it might seem like I had a clear plan for a career in pharma, and honestly, it was quite the opposite way. Yeah, I decided on the pharmaceutical industry after my 3 internships. Yeah, so actually at the start of my PhD, as I mentioned before, I was quite concerned about my future career. Yeah, I wasn't sure what will I do in the future, or when should I start preparing. Yeah, so I discussed with my advisor, and his suggestion is really helpful and crucial to me. Yeah, since I didn't have a very specific goal at that time, so my advisor suggested me enjoy the research during the school so that I get to know the academia work, the faculty daily life, and then try different internships so that I can explore different industry jobs to see what is my real interest so that I can start my career. Yeah, so therefore that's why I started my first internship as a data scientist, and then my second one as a non-clinical statistician, and my last one was still a data scientist, but at a local government. Yeah, so this experience made me realize the practical problems attract me more, so rather than theoretical work. So I choose to go to industry. And then for the pharma, as I mentioned, I have comparing to other insurance, financial, I do interested more in health, in our body, in the drug. Yeah, so that's why I moved to the pharma. Yeah, my final decision. Yeah, so this is only my personal experience. I know you might think, or some students will think I really detoured a lot. Yeah, I do believe it would definitely be more efficient if you set up your clear career goal as early as possible and then plan it carefully. That will save you lots of time and make you focus more on your future work. You know what you should learn for, to prepare for maybe the interview, the future job, and prepare those abilities, skills. But if you don't, you should, like me, just don't worry too much about that. I believe such exploratory paths also helped me and won't be harmful for the future career. And regarding the internship, how did I find it? I think it's just through the LinkedIn, check the company career websites, from November, the company website will have some internship opening opportunities. And also from the ICSA email or discussion panels, there will be some shared information. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, another question, the connection in the pharmaceutical industry. Yeah, actually, I'm still new. I don't have too many connections, and most of my industry contacts actually came from attending the ICSA conference. Yeah, like today's panel. This is a great opportunity to meet Yongming, meet Alina, meet Qing, and also meet the future pharma professionals. Yeah, so nice to meet you, everyone. And many thanks to the community and the ICSA.
That's great. That's great, Xiyuan. I really like your story. Although I usually suggest people to plan their career as early as possible, I think your experience is also very good. So it takes time to explore your interest, and then you find your own passion after exploring. So make the choice. Once you make decision, you're doing what you like, right? So that's a very good story. Thank you for that. So another question is that we all make mistakes. Yongming, like based on your many years of experience, what are the common mistakes that a fresh PhD may make when they're looking for a job?
Yeah, I think maybe not just from my experience, maybe also from like the people I have interviewed, I know, right? So I put I think I try to give a few. It's not a complete list, but just a few. One is I think motivation is just people do not show enough motivation. I think we give the interviewers the impression that they just need a job, right? For example, they come to interview and Lilly, they even don't know, what the major drugs Lilly have, right? What's is Lilly a small company? Is big? How big it is? Like this basic one, right? I guess my recommendation first, if you have an opportunity or talk with someone from the company, first go to the website, right? To spend 15 minutes to understand the high level, right? And then you just not like blank, right? You actually should have interest. So that's number one. Number two is I think I felt probably most people have not read the interview book. I didn't see you have to truly read the book, but you have maybe go to online to look at some interview, what you need to pay attention to, right? It's not, I don't want you to over prepare, but you want to avoid making the very simple mistakes, right? I think I did talk with I talked with some of the my American office mates back in school before interview, asked some basic questions, right? Somebody just shared something. I never know, right? Because I was from China. It's I'm not knowing much deep about the American culture, so you just try to avoid the something. You want to avoid the misunderstanding between different cultures. Also read the interview book. They probably have some tips. Some of the you don't have to follow, but some of those if you can avoid, just avoid to just to prevent some like basic mistakes, right? This number one. Number two is yeah, I think we already mentioned, like I found that many students have not emphasized the actual curricular activities or their volunteer work, right? That's again, I'm emphasizing this one. If you have not put in your resume, I make sure add that resume. Or if you have not done any, I think start from now, you can look for opportunities, right? To do some of those extra curricular activities, because those are very, very important. I think 3 probably enough.
That's all very good points. It's very interesting. We do have clients call candidates like, have you ever asked question? The question is, have you ever take a look at our website? The candidate said no, and the interview just basically ended. So it's very important to do some research on the companies you're applying, and also like Yongming mentioned, just learn the interview tips, right? You meant the interview books you mentioned, do you mean the interview tips and on how to conduct a good interview? I just want to clarify.
That's right. I don't know. 10 years ago, I read a book. I bought a book, read a book, but now there's too much resource in online, right? You probably ask a ChatGPT, they probably give you a good answer.
That's right. That's right. Okay, thank you for that. And Xiyuan, do you have anything you think you could have done better during your job search, thinking back, or any mistake you have made, or something you could have done better?
Yeah, so maybe follow just you mean and your discussion. Yeah, for the questions or for the basic research of the Google. Yeah, during our one-on-one meeting, especially, we always have some few minutes to ask questions. Yeah, so at first I asked some I did with this meeting. I asked some simple question. Yeah, I asked some questions that I can actually get the answer from a quick Google search. Yeah, I think, and then later I realized, oh, I should do this. It should be in my preparation, before the interview. So later I just feel like for those, I do have lots of questions, but during I firstly do a quick Google search. Can I find the answer of those questions? And can I get a good answer of those questions? Yeah, sometimes the Google search gave me some answer, but I feel like I can't from those answers I can't get a good view of the workplace, the work atmosphere of the whole group, the whole team, their workflow. Yeah, so maybe I just ask the hiring manager, I get some answer, but still I want to know more details. Yeah, and also be relaxed during the interview. Yeah, it's like you should have a thought, not shoot. Yeah, for me, I just have a thought is, you are interviewing me, but also I'm choosing among different companies. Yeah, so just be relaxed and during the conversation. Yeah, and also for the conversation at first, when I was asked some research questions, actually I was quite nervous. I was afraid that, they are questioning my research. What should I do? If I couldn't prove it's good, then I definitely would be failed. Then later I realized maybe they are just curious about my research. And they just, when we have the question, they are showing they are interested in me. They want to know more about me or my research. That's a good point. Yeah. So, and also if I focus my thoughts, how to understand their question, actually, how to understand their question, their point of view, I get more insights or more insights of my research. I can think more because at that time I was always in academia. Then I get more insights from a pharmaceutical professional view. So then I become relaxed, and those discussions really helped me more. Yeah. So that for this point, I just be relaxed and be yourself.
That's great to know. Thank you, Xiyuan.
So Helena, maybe can I add one more?
Sure, of course.
To follow what Xiyuan said. I think when you ask a technical question, right, you maybe may not answer the question well. My advice: don't be panic, because generally the interviewers may not expect you answer every question perfectly, right? They understand, for example, you pass the test, you don't have to be 100% to pass the test, right? Also, for me, I interview people, if they can answer my question well, I will ask more questions, add the difficulty of my questions until they cannot answer. So you probably very rare you probably can answer all my questions well. The reason because I try to understand the depth of the employee technical skills. So I try to evaluate through try to different questions or more harder questions. So if you cannot answer the question well, don't be panic. Just try the best. You need to understand that technical question only one small proportion of the overall evaluation.
Okay.
So that's just. But I have some interview actually. Later we hired the employee later shares. Okay, they were so frustrated because I asked tough questions. But but I probably ask a tough question for everyone. But so you also have a different type of interviewers. Some interviewers tend to not ask so much technical questions. Some ask more. So you basically your evaluation of the evaluation of your interview outcome is multidimensional, right? You not from technical questions, but also from presentation, your communication skills. Also not just one person. You have multiple people all give you evaluation that in the end they just have summarized the overall interview, decide whether it give you offer or not.
Okay. Thank you for that. It sounds like you're evaluating a candidate not only on the technical skills, but also the communication skills, personality as well, right? Teamwork, team player.
Yeah, exactly. Even for technical skills, doesn't mean you cannot answer my question. I'm going to give you the low rating, right? Because I also look for other your presentation, your PhD research, your publication. You have too many other things, right, to support your technical skills.
Okay, so I know you hire lots of people. Eli Lilly hired lots of new fresh PhDs in the past. So what the people have in common? Is there anything in common? I think it must be. What the people in common for the candidates you hire? What are they in common? And also, you mean I just take this because we're all for the time concern. I also ask a question at the same time. Is for the long-term career success in the pharmaceutical industry, what are the qualities shared biostatistician have?
Okay, so I give answer combine the two questions, right? So,
okay.
Yeah. So number one, I felt you see those doing well, actually may not be those statisticians have the best skill in the beginning. So this is doing well. I think the one I found a common attribute is they are very motivated. They are very motivated, right? They want to do well. They work hard. They are willing to learn different things. They are even to work overtime. They even to continue to develop their different skills. They are not say, okay, 8 hours done, I'm done, right? 8 hours. After 8 hours, they may not work on the project, but they may spend time build their skills, right? They may read a leadership book. They may try to improve their communication skills through some club, right? To have opportunity more improve their English. Or they may do research, right? To some technical skills. They are not just said, okay, 8 hours I'm kind of enjoying my life, right? To watch movies, do some watch TV, right? So I think if you ask me long term, what's the attributes? I think that's the one key, right? A second one is also about why they can do this. I think that they have the passion and the curiosity, right? It's interest, right? So this is the reason I said if you want to the industry, the job industry, if you think okay, industry because I earn more money, right? That may not be good because at some point you feel it's not worth right the money, right? So I think people work on industry more like they have the passion. They want to have something real like delivered, right? You work in academia, yeah, you can do good research, but your impact is more indirect. And pharmaceutical company impact is indirect. Like for example, you can support a drug for a few years, the drug is on market, patients use the drug, it give you a lot of fulfillment. Okay, so come back to the I look at the candidates is the most what's generally a criteria we hire, and I think we already mentioned that one is the good communication skills, solid technical skills, it's motivated, and also have some extracurricular activity and leadership skills. That's all. I think I stop here because our time is limited.
Thank you for sharing that. It's very important. You summarized it very well, I think. And now, because of the time, I'm going to take some questions from the Q&A. Okay.
Yeah, I have tried to answer some of the questions.
Okay.
We have too many questions.
Okay. Let me. I just go through in order. If we cannot answer all the questions, we will send out the follow-up email. So the first question is a senior biostatistician to principal biostatistician, how many years industry experience needed? Does it differ in pharma CRO or biotech? I can answer the question very quickly because each company have a different title. Some company for the fresh PhD, they call senior, some call principal, some call manager. I think your question is the first level and the second level. Usually it takes 2-3 years from the first level to the second level. You mean, do you agree? Like maybe in Eli Lilly, like from first level statistician to a second level, does that take 2-3 years or 4 years to?
Yeah, and Lily, typically it's 3 to 4 years.
3 to 4 years. Okay.
There are rare cases people can get promoted within 2 years. Yeah.
Okay. Maybe 3-4 years.
Yeah, but I think I want to emphasize now, different companies, the level are different, the competition are different. So I think you probably should not have too much on the level, right? I guess that's my point. It's you.
Okay. Yes. Focus on what you're doing, right? Focus to learn at this point. And the second question is, can master's degree graduate go into industry? I would say that maybe a CRO is a good point to get into industry. And also there, besides a biostatistician, there's another role is a statistical programmer. Usually they are master in statistics. And for a master degree, you graduate as a statistician for the pharmaceutical company, it could be a little bit of challenge. But if you gain some experience from CRO and some companies may be open to master degree candidates. Another question is, do you see any voluntary or collaboration opportunity for academic fresh graduates in pharmaceutical companies to gain some experience? If yes, do you have any advice on how to find them and get involved?
Maybe I can take this question.
Yes, please.
Yeah. So first, I think if you can find an internship, that's automatically, because the internship you work in industry, you already have a collaboration, right? Because after internship, you may continue to, you already build a connection, you continue to work either further research or collaboration. Another one is I think you can utilize the network, right? For example, ICSA is a great network. If we have a ICSA, we have GSM. We have ICS table. We also have the ICS symposia every year. And so if you attend those meetings, you can get connected, right? So the table, they have the ICS dinner, you get connected, right? You can talk to different people, show your interest. I think from there, you may find some opportunities.
Okay. What's the question? Let me see the question. Thank you, Yomi. This is another question about the title. Like some hired as a senior, some hired as a principal. So as I mentioned earlier, different company may have a different title structure for the new fresh graduate. So it does not mean principal is higher than senior. In general, it is, but because the title difference, it does not mean, it could be all entry-level position. Okay, this is an interesting question, but the question is, I'm wondering if you could please elaborate a bit about the interview process for new graduate master students. And from my understanding, there will be technical and behavior interviews. I'm wondering what specifically the technical part will be about, and how would you recommend to prepare for it? Yumi, I guess this is
Yeah,
question
I
for
think
you.
this is both me and Xian, we are
Xiyuan, okay.
PhDs. So kind of this, maybe we can skip this question. Maybe later future we can maybe get connected to someone more relevant to answer this question.
Okay. Okay, that's fine, because I thought, although she's a master student, I think the PhD may be similar question, but we can maybe answer later. Another question is, when are the peak months when there are most jobs openings in industry for students to apply in their last year of school and plan to have a job immediately after graduation? Is there any peak months for the most job opening?
Peak month. My advice is you can start as early as possible. Generally, you want to be I think a GSM is a good opportunity. Many companies require GSM. You can, if you graduate in 2025, I think 2024 GSM, you definitely want to submit a resume to the 2024 GSM to see if you can meet the companies and that conference. I think Xian just mentioned she started really early, right? So that's also another advice. You start early.
Yeah. I started right after GSM, the year before my graduation.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty early. And also there's if the you have you're from China or other country, there's a visa reason, and you have to make sure that you can start right after your graduation. So, but prepare earlier. Prepare as early as possible. Another question, I'm about to graduate with a master's degree in statistics, and I also have a PhD in biochemistry obtained in China. However, I lack internship experience, so finding a job is currently challenging. Where should I look for volunteer opportunities? Can both of you can comment on that? Is there any volunteer opportunities for graduate master degree candidates?
Yeah, I think there must be some opportunity, but of course, I cannot now point the opportunity, but I would suggest again, try to network, talk with more people, through attending the conference, talk with more people. You'll be surprised, because you don't need you only need one opportunity, right? Just then you get a foot in the door, and you'll be in good shape, right? So I would suggest that I think attending this seminar also already a very good start, because that means you pay attention to it to start to get connected.
Yeah, and
Okay.
maybe I can add one more point. Yeah, I remembered when I searched for some internships in the LinkedIn, there are some title as like volunteer job or volunteer something. It means you volunteer to do some job to gain some experience. But I'm not sure whether it's still there now, but you can check the LinkedIn.
Okay, LinkedIn, you have offer some opportunities as well. Okay.
Right.
And I'm going to take the last two questions. And interview goes both ways. As an interviewee, how do you gather insight on if you will work for a manager or not? Maybe Xuyuan, you have some experience on that.
I think that's a question for me. Yeah, so for me, I feel like I would like to work in a team that at least is not with some humor. I can freely discuss my thoughts with other people, and I can say I will grow in this team. Yeah, so and also during our one-on-one meeting, there will be the people who interview us are at different levels. And for people who are at a higher position, I would like to see how he or she will like have a overview of the whole team, or for not the company, like just some higher level of the like team building something, or not, or like how to handle like multiple projects, or just those kind of thing. And also for like maybe people who are still at a high level, but not that high. I would like to say how they're like I would like to hear their experience, how they grew up from their entry to their current position. What did they like get, so that I can get some insights. Okay, so if I join this team, how will I develop my personal skills? Like whether I can also the team, the mentorship, something. Yeah, just yeah, just those stuff. I hope that's helpful.
Yeah, thank you, Xinyuan. So you're looking for the opportunities and the learning opportunities as well, and the chemistries to see if you can work with a hiring manager together.
Yeah. I actually am looking for some environment that I can grow.
Working environment.
Yeah, a growing working environment. Thanks.
Okay, thank you for that. I think we're out of time today, and I want to thank you all for your support and participating in this event. I hope you enjoyed the meeting and learned something from this seminar. Oh, I have more questions, but we don't have time. So ICSA will send out a follow-up email and with some